I'll say it again because I've already said it. He is the most talented player we have ever seen, all facets since Tim Tebow. By the way, he's a running back. Arch Manning just made his first passing touchdown against UTP, and our offensive performance was horrible. Utterly terrible in terms of offense. Bravo to the defense. We merely had backup players who were moving around on a team that was nearly FCS level. Arch Manning is unable to toss the ball. Arch Manning is a back who runs. We will review some statistics and figures. I've been blowing the horn, as you are all aware, and I'm a Texas supporter. I had been tremendously excited about the prospect of Arch Manning's arrival. This is what he will do. He intends to do so. Despite what Paul Feinbaum has to say, Arch Manning, the Nepo baby, is a running back. And I'm so sick of it because, one of the people I cover here was dubbed a Nepo baby after throwing for 4,000 yards and winning a Johnny Unitas award. You must realize that I adore Shador. First of all, I'm a Texas supporter, thus all I perceive is hypocrisy. What I saw was that I was accompanying someone who had won a title for defeating UTEP in Mississippi State. I had hallucinations. But since I'm a Texas fan, you should anticipate that from me. We have delusions, we do that. Let's just review a few points, Lee. I made a video earlier this week regarding Arch Manning's injury, but Stark apparently had other things to say. You better hope Arch Manning is hurt by now. What's happening? What is the issue? We're not all right, folks. We don't communicate. This is no longer Ohio State. Yes, they are merely a disguise for defenses. He's going to slide down and Matt Patricia, blah, 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 blah. He is merely a maestro of defense. On the 4th and 3rd, this fell short of his top target. After running right and left, he threw a pick across his body. This isn't, perhaps Arch isn't that talented. Arch doesn't do this. He lost the ability to play football. They were jeering at him. I'll just keep shouting if you don't listen to me and go over some statistics. By the manner he's been discussing him, Paul Feinbaum is essentially referring to the next coming of Jesus at halftime along with Archibald Manning. The top 3 quarterbacks in the SEC, according to many, are 5 for 16, 69 yards. Make a joke, please? Since we are joking, I do as I wish. 69 as well as a red zone interception. Arch Manning had 3 interceptions in 3 weeks, consecutive red zone interceptions. We're playing San Jose State and UTEP, guys. I'm not. Keep in mind that these aren't FCS teams in any way. That's not what I'm saying. Additionally, UTEP is a team that is becoming more and more popular. They are working it out. Their new head coach is fantastic, but for heaven's sake, it's not the same guy, is it? However, Mr. Malachi Nelson was another quarterback who participated in this game. It turns out that he and Arch Manning were in the same recruiting class. Now, this recruiting class is notorious for being awful. You guys are terrible. Nico, Malachi, and Arch Manning. However, Malachi Nelson goes against what is expected to be a top-notch defense. 12 for 16 yards or 99 yards. Allow me to introduce you to the full box score as well. Let me show you everything. Following that, we're just going to observe memes. We're just going to examine his horrible performance. Additionally, I will tell you first, I just showed you that he had 69 yards. Although the game is technically still ongoing after Arch Manning ends, it is officially done. This is the end of it. 10 for 23 with an average of 4 touchdowns and 10 yards. I want everyone to understand that Arch Manning once missed 10 consecutive passes. That's a real statistic. 10 consecutive failures. I think there's an issue if Texas comes in second in this AP poll. From a Texas fan, that is, the offense isn't that good, So it's not that bad. Georgia may not have a very strong offense. They just posted 38. They're placing, this game is being watched by me, 38-38. Georgia and Tennessee appear to be 2 SEC teams. Garner Stockton was ridiculed by everyone who claimed he was incapable of throwing. Even though he might not be able to throw, he can throw more accurately than Arch Manning. I'm talking about simply missing out on wide open plays. I'll tell you what, hey, let's make it easy for Trey Wingo. He tosses it too wide and does an odd thing with his feet. He is overthrown by Parker Livingston, who is wide open on the post. Gorgeous inner slot fade. Trey Wingo has him all day. Gives him too much, as if I wanted to emphasize this. Once more, he was missing wide open throws. Once more. When must you turn to face Arch Manning, Sark? The Manning family is breathing down your neck, and I know it. Hey, Arch Manning, you're just Tim Tebow, we might say at one time. Don't allow him to toss the ball. Ryan Wingo, I apologize. I apologize for the fact that you were among the fastest people in Texas. I apologize. I apologize, Mr. DeAndre Moore, for your fantastic campaign that got us all the way to the playoffs last year. I apologize. Simply unable to toss the football. We apologize to the 84 and 5-star tight ends that we have amassed. You won't get a ball that can be caught. I apologize. This must be transformed into traditional Georgia. Ignore Georgia Tech. We must adopt a wing T offensive strategy. We must attend the Naval Academy. I don't care. I am for. Arch Manning is a back who runs. 51 rushing yards on 9 carries, 2 rushing touchdowns, and a 5.7 average. You guys genuinely believe that I'm merely kidding when I say, oh my God, I'm so upset. He's a running back, that's what. This Sark, we no longer have Quinn Ewers. I'm not sure if you were aware of that. You ought to have been aware of that all summer long. There are no Quinn Ewers here. I am aware that it was. Check out my videos, please. I was showing Quinn respect. I am aware. Hey, but I would give anything to have Quinn back, dude. I just don't understand this. Before we get started, I want to emphasize this. Before we start talking about the many things and amusing jokes, by the way, that wasn't a pass interference. I apologize, but I'm watching the game right now. That's ridiculous. That cry for pass interference is absurd. I would like to clarify that it is not on the defense if they score a touchdown. The Texas game's pass interference call was absurd. It is important to emphasize that these were open passes that were being missed. I must emphasize that even with a lot of pressure and all day in the pocket, Arch was still unable to hit his receivers. It goes without saying that the offensive line had one of its worst days. The run game was unable to launch. Wisner wasn't there. During the first play, C.J. Baxter sustained an injury. UTAP is now operating in reverse. Look, man, I'm exhausted. This reminds me of Texas football in the past. Texas football isn't exactly how it was in middle school or high school, is it? The years 2013 through 2014 and 2016 were similar to those when Texas was simply terrible. However, it's amusing because our defense was consistently poor over those years. We typically have some life in our offense, don't we? The defense was unable to respond. We now have a shout out for your defense. You all accomplished the reason you were here. You guys shouldn't have spent so much time on the field. It shouldn't have been necessary for you to do what you did. It would seem that Arch Manning would be a 5-star quarterback if he simply played like one. This is not a problem that we have. Additionally, to give Steve Sarkisian a little credit, why does it take you a whole half to recognize your quarterback? Sark, nothing has changed. So when I look at you, I'm thinking that you need to give me confidence, right? I understand your actions. I'm certain that I know what Sark is doing on 4th down. Sark was attempting to consistently place Arch in difficult circumstances, correct? To make sure he can execute those throws when the actual football game starts. And he's breaking beneath the strain. In order to ultimately get his legs involved, you have to wait the entire half. And that's what takes place. The offense was so stale because of this. He must run the option. He must transform him into Haynes King. He can now be used as a rushing quarterback. Additionally, I'm aware that the Mannings will not approve. They want him to be like Peyton, I know that. They want him to be like Eli, I know that. He doesn't understand. Not now anyway. He's a real jerk. He's a jerk. Arch, allow me to demonstrate. I'll show you something. 4-star Edge King pitch in 2028. 3 hours have passed since this. Devoted to the university. First commitment for the cycle of 2028. There is still a long way to go, but at least recruiting has begun. Obtain a sports person. That's what I'm talking about. Fantastic thing to happen on the eve of such a day. It should be easy for us on the eve of a day like that, correct? Correct. You know what happened? Also 2 hours ago, you committed. I would like to declare that my recruitment is still completely complete. I simply made a mistake, hey. And he stated it exactly like that. I was misinterpreted, and the reports do not accurately represent my goals. Before achieving such a significant life goal, I intend to take my time with my recruiting. Whoa. Whoa. That is a significant change. Did Arch Manning, who has been in this offense for 3 years, have anything to do with it? Does he have more than one incompleteness? What about Wiz 1? He is being jeered like this. We can't. I can't show it, so I am actually just going to listen. However, Arch Manning is being jeered. Is it audible? Hold on, I can't even hear you. I may need to play it again. Wait a moment. It's there. Okay, here it is, dog. Additionally, I truly want to emphasize this. Manning once had 96 yards in the interception and was 8 for 20. I truly want to emphasize that. I don't, because I don't give a damn, because I know that when the statistics are finished, he will have a few touchdowns, including several rushing touchdowns. Observe his actions. It appears that the second string is in. Take a look at what I want to show you. Allow me to explain this to you slowly. Parker Livingston is now open. It's 3 and 4 now. What are you looking for, Rich? Now toss the ball. However, he holds. His eyes remain. He remains available. Take a look at Parker Livingston. He remains available. Because he is an athlete, he performs all of that, stops and reverses the field. He is, incidentally, a running back. Looks across the field. Looks around the field. Recognize that it's 4th down. It was my turn to toss the ball. Thus, simply tosses it. Just hold that UT player. Even so, to whom were you throwing? This ball was going to be picked up by Ryan Wingo. Arch, you need to realize by now that your arm is incapable of throwing that. This isn't just a simple case, as the man with the footage noted, he's open. He is there, right there. In the first half, Arch Manning threw his 11th consecutive interception. The Bluebirds are out after 1 interception. He is deserving. He does. Arch Manning was reportedly throwing like, and then, this is where I'm going to stop because I have to leave. This is really making me angry. I'm watching actual football games between SEC teams. Tennessee is attempting to win this game covertly. However, I'm not saying that because he is dreadfully bad. I'm really very sorry. Not that there's a lot. He is engaged in really challenging work. I want to emphasize that. Take a look at this. He has his feet planted. He intends to expose his chest. I have no idea what the mechanics are doing. He has his booty butt exposed. Where? What? What? He's on his feet. The target is at a halt. You have S. And I can finish this throw? Hey, I can make this throw. I'm sick and weary of it. For what length of time will Arch Manning continue to start for the Texas Longhorns? I'm hoping it won't be longer than a week. Lord of mercy.